It really is a privilege to have viewed this video and to understand that it's really everybody's business and that it takes a whole nation to care. I wanted to recognize now very specially former Director of the National Blood Transfusion Services, Dr. Grace Haynes, who is with us here today. Please stand, Dr. Haynes. Another of the pioneers in blood transfusion in Jamaica. Thank you. And now we move on to remarks from the Honorable Dr. Fenton Ferguson, Minister of Health, who I can confidently say needs no introduction to the audience here and the wider viewership. Of course, he's also the chairman of CARICOM's Council on Human and Social Development. Minister Ferguson is a dental surgeon by profession. Indeed, he is a true all-round health professional as he continues to lead the health team in Jamaica and the Caribbean, here in the region and on the international stage. We are confident that he will move us forward in the right direction. Please help me to welcome Dr. Fenton Ferguson, our Honorable Minister of Health.
Madam Chair, Dr. Marian Ducasse, our Director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne, Mr. Joseph Gregor, our Permanent Secretary, Dr. Jean Dixon, Honorable Custis Marigold Hardin, members of the Diplomatic Corps, other distinguished persons at the head table, leaders of health, the ministry and the regions, our friends and my own colleague, ministers and member states viewing this ceremony this morning. I also want to recognize our young people who are here to participate in this ceremony this morning. I want to recognize the representatives of the Defense Force and also the Jamaica Constabulary Force. But most importantly, on a day like today, is to recognize our heroes, the voluntary blood donors. And this is why persons here this morning, like Dr. Grace Haynes, former director, persons like Mrs. Magnus, who have been with us for a very long time, but continue to be a part of this landscape. And we really want to congratulate them for being here this morning. It is also important to note, ladies and gentlemen, that the celebration of World Blood Donor Day takes place on the birthday of a very well-known person, Karl Landsteiner, who created the ABO group system that was used and continued to be used to ensure safe blood transfusion. This morning, if I may be allowed Just a little boast, Madam Chair, Your Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen. Jamaica's a habit of punching above its weight in many matters. Whether it is world athletics with some of the fastest human beings on the planet, or world politics through our involvement in the anti-apartheid struggle and the gift of a Marcus Mosiah Garvey, or even giving Bob Marley and reggae music to the world. We have always demonstrated as a country, and in local jargon, that we little but we talawa. Today, June 14, 2013, is another day where we take pride in the fact that our country at Emancipation Park in Kingston is the site for the launch of World Blood Donor Day 2013 in the Americas. As we speak, this event is being streamed live to as many as 39 countries in Latin America and the Caribbean. We are pleased to play host to you all. We're also pleased to have our guest, the director of the Pan American Health Organization, Dr. Carissa Etienne. Madam Director, on behalf of the government and people of Jamaica, let me say publicly a warm welcome. I know that the last 24 hours have been a whirlwind of activity for you, but I trust that you have taken some time to enjoy the sights and events. But in a way, this is a matter of coming back home, Madam Director, because I have it on good authority that you lived there long enough as a student and have taken a likeness to our Jamaican patties. And I'm sure we will make that available to you. Quite seriously, Madam Director, we have every reason to be happy that you have accepted our invitation to be here. Your presence is a round endorsement of the partnership between the Ministry of Health in Jamaica and PAHO. Our journey has been one of arriving at a common place where our people have better access to health care and improvement in their well-being. Let me use this opportunity to thank PAHO for all the instances where they have been with us in various endeavors and programs. Today being World Blood Donor Day, while we play host with a sense of pride, we also want to bring to the fore our sense of commitment. This commitment is born of an intense desire to do more, to go further in the drive to have 100% voluntary blood donation in this country. Looking at the horizon, we know that there are some definite challenges. It is well accepted that given some instances, Jamaicans are generous blood donors. That assertion may fly in the face of the statistics, but bear with me as I make the point that Jamaicans will readily donate blood if there's a SOS on the part of a dear family member or a friend or even a total stranger who is in dire need. But the goal, I am sure, is to have persons being repeat donors and voluntary donors. Indeed, blood donation must not rest with an occasion. It must be a way of life. Blood must be seen, like the rest of the world, as an essential medicine necessary to save lives. As Minister of Health, I stand in full support of the drive to increase the level of voluntary unpaid blood donation. This represents a better path, along with the necessary testing and control measures to ensure adequate, safe blood supply for those who use our health services. This is my commitment. I am also happy that the ministry now has a draft national policy on blood that is now being prepared to be presented to Cabinet. It is also noteworthy that in collaboration with POW, a 5-year strategic plan has been developed and will be implemented immediately. This plan hinges on voluntary blood donation as the critical pillar that will ensure sufficiency, quality, access, and equity. I am heartened that the team at the National Blood Transfusion Service, led by Dr. Lundy Richards and Dr. Angela Scott, have as part of their grand mission, the attainment of the WHO goal of 100% voluntary unpaid donation by 2020, moving from the present 20%. Jamaica is signed up, and we are on a mission. Once again, as we welcome you, Dr. Etienne, and your husband to our beautiful island, let us continue to deepen the association with POW, with the resolve that the goal should be universal access and health for all. I thank you, ladies and gentlemen.